Hi, I'm Kenny Anderson, Director of Multicultural Affairs for the City of Huntsville, and welcome to Impact. Each week we bring you information about exciting things that are happening right here in this community, and today will be no different. In today's show, we're actually going to expand the borders of opportunity beyond the City of Huntsville, the state of Alabama, and we're going to really stretch a little bit up north, which is where I'm from. We're going to talk to you today about an exciting opportunity for young people in grades 9 through 12, where they can win $1,000 and an all-expenses-paid trip to the great Princeton University. We're going to be talking about the Princeton Prize in Race Relations, and today we have the co-chair of Alabama with us. She's none other than Laura Huckabee-Jennings. Laura, welcome to the broadcast.
Thank you very much, Kenny.
It's good to have you here. And you know, you and I have talked about this a lot, but this is a really good opportunity for us to kind of dissect this opportunity, because it really is an amazing opportunity. And I think juxtaposed with so many things that have happened in our country over the last, say, 4 to 8 years, and then moving forward with so much uncertainty, this is really a good time to focus on the conversation that we're having right now. So tell us a little bit about what the Princeton Prize in Race Relations is.
So it's our belief that one of our key challenges is increasing understanding and cooperation among people of diverse racial backgrounds. And we believe that high school students are the people who are still creative and interested and can make a big difference, not just for their own community, but it'll impact generations to come. So Princeton alumni developed the Princeton Prize in Race Relations in order to recognize students who are making a positive impact in race relations in their communities. That could be their school, it could be a club, it could be their neighborhood. It doesn't need to be any particular place, but we're looking for those high school students that are really trying to make a difference and encourage them and recognize them for doing so.
Yeah, I think it's interesting that you use the term creative and even curious when you talk about young people today, because I, like you, share the belief that they are the generation of change. That they are the ones that have the greatest potential to move the needle forward in terms of these very tough conversations that we've had for so many years, and some of the very tough experiences, and then also considering the legacy of racial tensions in our nation. I think our young people really have an opportunity to get it right. And I think that they're anxious. I think they have some ambition, and I think they certainly have some creative suggestions as it relates to this. And I'm sure you're seeing some of the same thing as well.
Yeah, absolutely. We see them coming up with projects that really create relationships between people of diverse racial backgrounds that wouldn't exist without these projects that the students engage in. We've seen everything from multicultural clubs that bring together diverse students on different topics throughout the month. We've seen them develop with their high school faculty new courses on diversity in America. We've seen them recognize that certain programs in their school were very racially unicolor, shall we say. There was all one group of people, and they were recognizing and finding people of different races to participate in that and bond and build person-to-person relationships over a common topic.
Yeah.
It's getting to know each other.
Well, that's a fundamental thing, I think, as relates to the conversation we're having too, because so much of what happens in life is we're reacting to things based on fear, ignorance, sometimes it's anger and lots of other emotions.
Absolutely.
And we're often afraid of the unknown. It's not that we know something, it's that we don't know something, or we believe something to be true. And so from our perspective, we're reacting to that kind of thing. And this is really, I see, a proactive effort to focus on a population of young people who are actually talking about these things. There are lots of studies being done right now that kind of look at this age group and see that there are some generational shifts in terms of how they deal with things. And you find that across the board. You find it in racial diversity, you find it in terms of gender equality, you find it in terms of the conversation about same-sex marriages and relationships. That there seems to be a lot more, not just tolerance, but acceptance of people who are different. Because difference doesn't equate to deficiency. And that, of course, is one of the, I think, fundamental challenges we have, that when we see somebody who's different from us, sometimes we're afraid of that difference because we don't know that difference. We don't understand that difference. We've not engaged with that difference. But in reality, we're failing to recognize also that that very difference is the very thing that can actually expand our ability to be able to appreciate everything that the world has to have. And I know that the Princeton Prize in Race Relations does that for young people.
Absolutely.
And certainly sets a model for perhaps us, older folks.
Yeah, I mean, their attitudes and beliefs about how the world works are still flexible, and they are beginning to form their ideas of what race means and what race relations look like and what that difference means and doesn't mean. This is a perfect time to engage them with their peers in dialogue about what does it mean and what does it not mean, and to really be educated. The all expense paid trip to Princeton University is our race relations symposium. It's normally held in April. And they go for a weekend and they interact with each other, the other prize winners from across the 27 regions that award a prize, and the Princeton faculty, and they talk specifically about race relations, and they have an opportunity to talk about their project in front of their peers. And so we're hoping we're building a network across the country of like-minded young people who are going to continue to make a positive impact in race relations as they grow into adults.
Sure, and these kids that win going forward, what kinds of opportunities exist for them? Are they tracked by Princeton? Are they given additional challenges to be change agents in their communities? What other kinds of things happen after the fact?
So they have a network of the alumni of the program where they can stay connected. Princeton University doesn't track them beyond that, but we have several former prize winners that are on our board, our national board, and continue to contribute to how do we reach out to more students and provide more value to them.
So the board is mainly, I'm assuming, made up of Princeton grads.
Primarily, but not entirely.
Right, but you have, and you just said something, I want to focus on this, the very people that you're trying to connect with and inspire and engage, you also have them on the board.
Absolutely.
Because wouldn't it be something if it was, again, a bunch of old people sitting in a room, older people, I'll say, more mature people sitting in a room, and I'll say old because that's the way it is for me a lot of times.
I think
I'm looking around the
maturity
room.
is optional.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that's right. So age-wise, some older people sitting around the room, and I'm looking around the room thinking, a lot of us don't have a clue as to what's going on. I mean, we're trying to solve the young people's problems, but we really haven't spent time talking to the young people about what the problem is. One of the biggest flaws in society is to try to solve a problem that you don't understand. So I think it's critical and very commendable that you all have that foresight to be able to say, we want to engage these young people seriously. We're not throwing them a bone. We're saying to them, we want to really work alongside you in terms of making these things possible.
Yeah, and we're going to get ready, and this next year, one of the intentions of the board is to publicly publish all of the projects that have been done. So as you go out and you have a race relations issue in your high school, you see something that you'd like to make a difference, you've got lots of reference projects where you can say, would this help in my school, would that help in my organization, and really go out and try some different things. There's a lot of very successful projects that we're proud of, and we want to spread the word and make sure other people are engaging in the same way.
Now, Huntsville is a great community. We know that, and we're always talking about how sharp people are, how smart people are. That's not just the technology community. That's not just the software community. That's not just the engineering community. That's the entire community. That means the folk that are working, they've been in school, and now they're in the workforce, and that's the folk that are coming through school right now. Very bright kids going through the school system, and that's why we wanted to have this program today, because this gives young people in this community a chance to actually apply for this opportunity. And I want to talk about what that process is all about because, and very seriously, I mean, we want people after this show airs to say, I want to sign up for this as an opportunity to be a part of this and contribute to this Princeton Prize in Race Relations. So tell us what the process is if somebody's listening this afternoon and we're already planting the seed of hope and opportunity.
So to apply to the prize, you have to have done a volunteer project in the last 12 months that had some kind of positive impact on race relations in your community. It could be your school, could be your church, could be your basketball team.
We know lots of kids doing those things already.
Absolutely, they're doing them already, so you don't have to create a new project. You also need an adult sponsor who's not related to you, who will have to write a short statement. It's not an essay contest, it's not a grades contest. It's about how impactful was your project. So it's about writing the first part of the application is done by the applicant themselves, the student, writes about their project and what kind of impact it had, and then their adult sponsor writes a comment. They need to be knowledgeable about what the student has done and be able to comment on their active role in making that happen. The applications are due by January 31st, so there's still time to think about it and put an application together. At that point, the committee will meet and review all the applications, and we'll award one winner from the state of Alabama. And last year we had 4 awardees that got certificates of merit that we went to their high schools and their award ceremonies and made sure that they were properly recognized for their good work as well.
That's outstanding. And so young people, grades 9 through 12 across this community, public, private, homeschool,
Absolutely.
can certainly be a part of this project. Yeah. And I also like the fact that you mentioned that they're working alongside a sponsor, because that person then also has a chance to engage that young person in sort of shaping the direction of where they go with this particular process as well. So that they're not left out there on their own trying to figure out what am I doing, but they can actually gain some direction from working with this person who's kind of vouching for what they've done.
Absolutely.
And talking about the impact, as you said, the difference that their project has made. And again, you know, every month we award something called the Community Awareness for Youth Award at City Council meeting. And we have a whole, the list of accomplishments that these young people have is just amazing.
Yep.
I mean, they're doing incredible volunteer work in their communities. They're taking care of parents and grandparents, and they're tutoring, and some are mentoring, and they're doing all kinds of great things to really make the community a better place. They're involved in after-school activities, extracurricular activities, sporting programs. Some are coaching. I mean, you know, the list goes on and on and on. So I guess I'm saying all that to say, you don't really have to search for something. I mean, young people are doing it right now.
They are.
And what we need to do is connect their doing it to that adult sponsor who's going to kind of help them through this process of applying for this Princeton Prize in Race Relations. $1,000 is the prize, plus an all expenses paid trip to Princeton. That's a big deal.
Yeah, and we hope it exposes them to like-minded peers from all over the country and inspires them to go on and do more. And the adult sponsors, we hope that we'll have a network of adults in the community who will continually look for and encourage students who have an interest in improving race relations, so that we'll have a stream of applicants every year.
Yeah. And so this person, 9th through 12th grade, it could be a ninth, could be a freshman, could be a senior.
Yes.
And I think that's great because, again, coming in, that person is, you know, on the younger end. They have lots of time to continue to contribute to great things in their community.
They do.
Somebody who's a senior may have been doing things, and it's a parting shot for them as they get ready to transition on to college or some other part of their life, maybe the military or something else. But this is really a great thing that's happening, and we really want as many people as possible to know about it. So how would people get more information about the Princeton Prize in Race Relations?
So by far the best place to go is to the website, which is www.princeton.edu/PPrize for Princeton Prize. And there's history of the award, the awardees. The application can be filled in online, or you can print it and send it by mail. Either way.
So it can be electronically filled out and submitted?
Yes, it can.
Well, that's a piece of cake. Wow. Again, maybe a little guidance and direction from that adult sponsor, but this can get done. And I would hope that we have a minimum of 50 to 100 applications from right here in the Huntsville community.
I would think
because
so.
there are at least 1,000 kids doing great things in our community every day.
And they've got to have a teacher, a principal, a coach, a pastor, someone who knows the work that they're doing and can write that short little comment on the student's project. It's not a hard thing.
Exactly. So we've got the academic community behind them. We've got all these youth organizations where young people are doing things. I know Boys and Girls Club has a Youth of the Month and then a Youth of the Year, and Girl Scouts, Boy Scouts. You've got all these great organizations that are doing some great things. This is a great opportunity. And Laura, I want to thank you for sharing this with us. We're going to make sure that we get this word out as much as we can because, again, we want good representation from Huntsville, not just North Alabama. We want it from Huntsville because Huntsville is a leader in so many things.
There are a lot of good things going on here, and this is just a part of it. We know that there are kids that are very actively working on improving race relations in their schools. We want to recognize them.
This is great. Well, we'll make sure that it happens. We'll do our part to make sure that it happens, that's for sure.
Well, I appreciate that, Kenny. Thank you.
All right, Laura Huckabee-Jennings. She is the co-chair for Alabama for the Princeton Prize in Race Relations. Thank you once again for being here with us.
Thanks for taking the time.
All right. We want to thank you for being such gracious host today, for allowing us to come into your homes and be able to share this great information about this most important work that's being done around the nation, but focusing right here on Alabama today. So we hope that you'll take an opportunity to talk to that young person in your life and be able to help them earn this great opportunity. Again, let me emphasize, that's $1,000 and an all expenses paid trip to Princeton. I would love to have these opportunities. I'm not sure that a whole lot of these existed when I was that age, but they sure exist now because they're everywhere. And this is a super opportunity that I hope you'll take advantage of. Now you can get more information. We've given you the website. We'll provide information. And when you go to our Impact with Kenny Anderson Facebook page, we'll also provide that information there, as well as a video of the show that you just watched and behind the scenes images of the broadcast once the camera stops rolling. For Impact, I'm Kenny Anderson. I hope you have a good rest of the day. We'll talk to you again soon.